Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw an eye in 7 simple and easy steps. The reason I want to show you how to draw is because drawing is a great way to relieve your stress, and studies show how it's beneficial to your overall health. So the first step that you want to follow is you want to make sure you have a clean and nice space set out and all your utensils organized so you know where everything is at when you need it. So here to the right, I have my pencils that I might possibly need, and I have a proper light source so I can see the colors exactly how they are. Once you have your station set up the way you want it, and with everything that you need, we can move on to actually drawing the eye itself. First, we're going to start off with a circle because your eye is just a sphere inside your head. And next, in order to emulate eyelids, we're going to draw a line at the top of the circle going downwards and a line at the bottom of the circle mirroring it. So there's your circle. So we're going to follow that and bring a line that hits the top of the circle right here but goes down. And then we're going to mirror it on the bottom. And that's the first step to drawing an eye done. So now you already have your circle. What you want to do is follow how I did right here, and you're just going to add like a football shape. You're going to follow the top of the circle with a line going down for the, and then mirror it at the bottom. There you go. So you're at the same point. So what you're going to want to do is, there you go. Perfect. So the next step after you have the basic outline of your eye done is we're going to add details to it to give your eye more dimension than it just being flat. What we want to do is first add the caruncle, which is that little pink thing in the corner of your eye. So that's going to go right here. And then from there, we're going to add more dimension to it by adding the thickness of your eyelid. So we're going to follow this line slightly off-centered, but continue it down like that. So you have this gap here. And then you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And that's your next step done. The next step after we add some dimension to your eye is we're going to add the pupil. Now the pupil is that little black part of your eye, but we're going to leave it incomplete because the eye itself is going to have reflection. And then you want to take just your colored pencil, since it's going to be black, and color that in. And there's that step done. Now we are going to be adding the color to the iris itself. The 3 colors I chose are going to be a dark green, a lighter green, and a blue. You can use any colors that you want, although these are the 3 that I chose. We're going to use the edge of the circle that we originally drew as the outer part of the iris. We're going to start with the darkest green that we have and use that for the outside line of the iris itself, and then do that the same on the other side. Now we're just going to color in a little bit, not too much, but enough to where it is about 1/3 of the way colored in towards the pupil itself. And while you're coloring this, you want the darkest to be towards the edge and go lighter as you color in. This adds an effect to the eye to where it looks like there is more of a reflection. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do the same thing around the pupil. So outline it in the darkest color that you're going to use, and then work your way outside, getting light towards right here. So, we've used our darkest green, we want to move on to the lighter green. With the lighter green, it's just going to add another color to where it looks like there are transition shades within the eye. With this color, we're going to draw lines going towards the pupil and outside the pupil right here. So we're going to do that and do that, but with multiple different lengths of lines, circling the whole outside of the pupil. Finally, we're going to add the blue just to add another color. And that's your coloring done. Now, what we want to do, since we finished coloring the iris, we're going to move to shading the eye. We're going to add shading right here, and then on these edges that we drew in earlier. While shading, you want the outermost part of the eye to be the darkest and move in while getting lighter. And then you can just kind of blend that out with your finger. Do the same right here. Blend it out with your finger. And then we're going to go ahead and make these a little bit darker. And that's the shading done. Your final step is to add the eyelashes. So first you add a line going up and then down and away from that original line. And then you want to do the same thing to the other side. And then once you have that, we can fill in them a little bit more. And make sure you have a different length in between the eyelashes because they are not perfect. And then for the bottom eyelid, we are going to do the same thing. So down and then out. And then on the bottom eyelid, you want to add less because your bottom eyelid always has less eyelashes. And that is the eye complete. So now that you guys have all drawn your own eyes, do any of you have any questions?
I do.
Yes?
I want to know when, this is not really so much about that, but how old were you when you drew your first eye?
Probably 12, I'd have to say, because that's really when I started getting into drawing and stuff like that.
Cool. Awesome.
I have a question.
Yes?
So we only drew one eye, but when you draw two eyes, do they come out perfectly symmetrical? Are they supposed to?
No, they're not, because although science says that the prettiest face is perfectly symmetrical, but we, as human beings, that isn't possible. So one eye will be smaller or one will be closed, and it also depends on the expression that you're trying to draw on the face. But to answer your question, no. Anyone else?
I do. Does it matter what color you color it?
No, not really. That would really depend on if you're doing a portrait of someone or, like, say, because normally, typically, you only have so many colors you have brown, blue, green, hazel, and that's about it, give or take. So those will be the main colors that you do use, but you can do other colors as well. And the reason why I say this is a good skill is because it helps you release, it can help release stress, and it's just a great skill to have in general because it lets you think creatively. Thank you all.